Welcome to the Mommy Mogul Mastery Podcast. If you're looking for a place to get real about balancing motherhood and entrepreneurship, it being a part of a community of successful, purposeful, and faith-filled mommy moguls sounds like the right place for you, then come on in, sis, have a seat because you have found your place and you have found your people. I am Shawnee Faye, the Mommy Mogul Mentor, and I'm breaking the mold and helping women to ditch their 9-to-5 grind. Tonight, we are speaking with none other than Mrs. Monica Swint. Thank you, girl, for being here. Let me tell y'all a little bit about Monica. She has her Bachelor's of Science in Nursing. She is also a registered nurse, an entrepreneur, nurse and beauty healthcare consultant, educator, and speaker with over a decade of experience. Monica's undying passion is to educate and empower others by changing the way they think about their health, wellness, and aging beauty. Through Monica Swint Consulting LLC brand, Monica provides nursing with mastery, intravenous education skills. She also shares practical solutions that allow clients to level up their thinking and learn efficient and scalable skills, increasing awareness and helping them build towards a successful nursing career in the hospital setting and MedSpa industry. So please give a warm welcome to Mrs. Monica Swint. All this is you, girl.
Listen, I was like, listen, it hits different when somebody else says it.
Yes, it does.
Because you know, we just do what we do. We do what we do.
Yes. Listen, I love it. I like when I met you in November, I was like, I like her energy. She is, ooh, let's be Instagram friends.
Yes. When I met you, so I was like, I'm such an energy person, and your energy is contagious.
Thank you, girl.
Thanks for inviting me. I'm happy to be here.
Well, thank you for coming. I so appreciate it. So, girl, I do got questions.
Okay.
I want to know all the things from that 10 years of experience. I want to know all the things, girl. But start by telling me just about like the moment that you knew, like, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. This is the purpose that has been set before me. How did you know?
How did I know? Really, it kind of goes back to when I was a kid. I used to ask my mom all the time, why was I so different? And I always thought outside the box. Quick little story. When I was in third grade, my mom used to comb my hair, very nice. And I didn't like the way she combed it. I would get to school and I would take it down and I would recomb it. And when I got home, I would be in trouble. And then my mom said, well, since you want to take on that project once you get to school, it's your job now.
Yeah.
So I just really always thought outside the box. And then I used to always ask my mom, why is my life so hard in comparison? And she would always tell me, she said, because you're chosen.
Yes.
And I was like, I never knew what that meant until really maybe like in 2020 when we were on quarantine and I had to spend a lot of time with myself after. And she told me that from a little girl when it really hit, like, really, I'm chosen.
Yeah, man. So why like choose to do, because you're in the nursing field, you know, you have your Bachelor's of Science in Nursing, you're a registered nurse. So why not just clock in at 9:00 and, you know, or I think nurses work like 7 to 7, them kind of hours.
Listen,
why not do that? Why say, I'm going to do this for myself?
Listen,
I got this. I can do this.
That's for somebody else. That's not for me. Well, it was
I know
for me.
That's right.
So it was a part of my journey. So I was a hairstylist for 17 years before I was a nurse.
Wow.
Back it up. I was a nail technician in college, had a whole business.
So you're a serial entrepreneur.
I'm a serial entrepreneur. I was introduced to the entrepreneur bug at the age of 14 as a shampoo girl.
Okay.
Went off to college, had a whole business in the college dorm. 2 years in, came home. I told my mom, I said, this college thing is taking too long. I can't do this. I got to do something else. And I did. And I went to school for hair.
Too long.
Went to school for hair. That business took off. I did that for 17 years. Owned 2 successful hair salons. But I always had a passion for nursing. But I got used to that quick money.
Yeah.
And I had a daughter who was born premature, and then I fell in love with nursing again. And then I went back to school as a older adult.
Well, all the little kids just making all the noise in the class, and you're just like, "Could y'all shut up? I'm trying to learn. I pay good money for this."
And honestly, it really wasn't that experience because nursing is such a serious profession. Most people take it serious. Everybody came in there to take care of their business.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how nursing was. But nail technician, hairstylist, nurse. So now I'm 15 years a nurse. Yeah. And to kind of piggyback off your question about why not the 9 to 5. Well, I knew when I was working in the hospital setting that was not my end goal because I was a leader in nursing. I did travel nursing. I always went to work with my scrubs, cute scrubs, hair done, makeup to the 9.
There you go. I love it.
Never took a leadership role in a hospital. Always was asked to, never had a desire, but all the young nurses would kind of flock to me, be like, "Mo, can you teach me this? Can you teach me that?" And I love to teach. Yeah. So that's my nursing story. But to kind of how I not aged out, wrong term, but how I kind of like departed from the hospital setting is I was tired. I was tired of making the sacrifices. I felt like I wasn't a good mother. I missed a lot of events. A lot of family functions. I ended up getting a divorce. All these things played a part in the career that I chose. I'm not blaming the career, but it played a part.
Yeah. Yeah, because you chasing that, and sometimes it's hard to split your well, I mean, I don't think that you really can split your attention 50-50. At some point, something is going to take more precedence than the other. So that's why I think, entrepreneurship, like for me, has really changed my life because I can take that 90% that I really want to focus on my family, and I can still get paid and be able to provide for them. I wasn't able to do that when I was clocking in, 9, and I work hard now, but it's different when it's yours. You know what I mean?
It is different. Yes, I agree.
It is very different. And I like taking naps. I'm not gonna lie about it. Like I think it's healthy. And I couldn't take no naps on the people's jobs.
You cannot take naps on those people's jobs. No, ma'am.
Because then you wouldn't have one. I said, well, let me go ahead and find me somewhere I can take a little 20-minute nap when I'm ready. But it has really changed my life. So and I can imagine that it's changed yours too. Like I see your stuff on Instagram, you and your husband, and like the dance, and I'm like, yo, that's relationship goals right there.
Listen, but I don't know if you're gonna ask me that question or not about my husband, but that's a whole nother story in how entrepreneurship and balancing children. It's a lot.
Yeah, it is. So yeah, let's get into the husband part because I'm personally not married, but my parents have been together since they were 16 years old, and they'll be like 67 this year. Don't be mad, Mom and Dad. Don't put your business out there. It's a great thing. And
it's a blessing.
Yeah, it absolutely is. And so I've always like kind of looked, and it set my standard a little higher because I'm like, I know the mark that they got to meet, So you did mention that, going through all of that with the career and, being in there, you were successful, but maybe not all the way successful at everything. So how did this come about, and like, how did it change? Like what got you to the point where you could meet him?
Okay. So meeting my husband, I was doing travel nurse. I was still in a hospital setting. So I was living in New Orleans. That's where I'm from. And I had came to Atlanta for a travel nursing assignment. Sent my daughter off to college, and I was like, I'm out, deuces. So came for a travel assignment. And one of the nurse technicians at the facility, she was like, Mo, I want to introduce you to my brother-in-law. And look at me, what's wrong with him?
Because something got to be wrong.
I was like, in Atlanta where they got a zillion women to one man. What's wrong with him? And she's like, nothing. He's just real particular. He's been married. He was married for 20 years and was divorced for like 4 at the time. And I was like, well, I'm dating somebody at the time, which I was. And then She came back like 3 months later. And she said, "Are you still dating? Because I really want to introduce you to my brother-in-law." I say, "He's still single? What's wrong with him?" And she said, "No, he's just really particular, and he's looking for a woman. He's not looking to just date anybody. He wants a woman who understands who she is. And I think y'all be a good match." And I was like, "Let me see a picture." He was horrible at taking pictures. So I looked at the picture. I was like, "Give her my number." So she gave the number. We ended up connecting. He called me that night. We was on the phone for like 3 hours.
Wow, that's some good conversation.
I know. It was just like real organic, good conversation. And then we didn't meet in person for like over a month because of our work schedules.
Mm-hmm.
And then when we built a rapport. We was talking every night. Yeah. And when we finally met in person, he was like, "Oh, I'm gonna take you to the finest restaurant in Atlanta." And I was like, "Baby, you can't impress me with food. I'm from New Orleans."
Yeah.
And
hello.
I said, "You eat shrimp stew?" And he was like, "What is that?" I was like, "It's kind of like a beef stew, but it has shrimp and sausage and potatoes." And he was like, "I'm country. I'll try it." So I was like, "Well, I'm bringing it over."
So you cooked?
I didn't ask him. I bought it. I cooked it at my house, and then I brought it over to his house because I wanted to see how single he was.
Yeah, I need proof.
That part. So got to the house, pulled up this big old gigantic bed. I was like, "Oh shit, it's a real man." Anyway, long story short, we met and we had been from that night on. We was together until we got married.
Wow.
And we got married. Excuse me. We got married like real quick. Within a year.
Yeah.
But he had children. He had 3 children. 2 adult children, 1 daughter still in high school. I had 2 daughters, 1 in high school, 1 in college. Mm-hmm. Well, we had a lot of obstacles with trying to merge the families, become one, try to get on the same page. And we were unsuccessful. And I divorced him.
What? Wait, not the one you be dancing with on Instagram.
But let me tell you, we got a divorce, which wasn't a bad. It was a bad thing at the time. Mm-hmm. We needed to do some work. Was a divorce necessary? Probably not. But we separated. We grew individually. Yeah. We did therapy individually, and then he invited me on a trip, and we've been together since.
I love it.
And we got remarried in 2021.
I love it.
So we share that story all the time with people just to let them know it's okay if you break up or get divorced or whatever. I always try to be transparent because a divorce is not the end all. Mm-hmm. There is life after it.
Hey ladies, I know that you're enjoying the episode, and so I will not take too long of a time. I just wanted to talk to you guys. I'm on my way to go pick up my daughters from school, and I want to talk to you really quickly about how you can make the change and kick your 9-to-5 in the butt and let it all go and work from home, doing exactly what you love, using everything that you already know. So one of the biggest hurdles for me was really trying to figure out, like, how am I going to replace my income? Like, how much money do I need to make this thing happen? What exactly is my quit budget? So I'm going to help you out. If you need to figure out exactly how you can replace your income, what that number looks like, how many people will it take for me to get to that point? I got you, sis. So go ahead and go to www.mommymogulmentor.com and sign up right now. And for absolutely free, I will give you your breakaway calculator to tell you exactly how much you need to fire your job. Love you. Yes, there is. Okay, so here's what I love about that story. First of all, I love you being that transparent, because a lot of people might hide those things about themselves, but really there's no reason to, because you go through these experiences for a reason. Absolutely. Right? Somebody has to see what you went through, because there's somebody out there, someone listening who's like, I do want to get back with him.
And
But
it's
my family gonna say all kind of stuff. They gonna be like, girl, you crazy. Didn't you just vomit that up? Don't eat that back. They gonna say all kind of stuff.
listen.
So there's somebody who listens like, but I just know that's my person. I know that that's my person. So,
Ooh,
girl, listen, I love it. And then the work, like the mindset work that you talked about, having to heal and then, girl, so many things
I
like the
know.
mindset and like you recognize I have to do the work. I have to do the work. He has to do the work. We have to both be healed in order to come back together, or really to even be with anybody else if it would have gone that way. But you got to do the inner work. And then the fact that nursing, although it played a part in your first divorce, it also is what led you to this. So it's all woven all up and through your life. That is beautiful.
It is. And he is my person, especially for me from
Yeah.
God, because
Yeah.
most entrepreneur women are alpha women, most
Mm-hmm.
in leadership or whatever, but I'm an alpha female and he is an alpha male. So go figure, right?
Yeah.
So God knew what I needed
Yeah.
because I ain't nothing nice.
Listen, you're not the only one, right? You're not the only one, because sometimes honestly, I wonder, because I have been single for so long, but I was just so fixated on like being the best mother that I could be, because if the father wasn't going to be there, I didn't want my children lacking anything. I hear all the time where like sometimes young girls who don't have a father figure in the household, they can become promiscuous and stuff like that. So I was like, oh, no. We're going to make sure that's not a problem. But sometimes I wonder if because I've been single for so long and because I'm running my own, right? How am I going to introduce somebody into my situation? Am I going to be able to like do what I need to do to welcome them in, to have an open space? So I think though, because I'm mindful of that, I do like really try to stay open-minded, because I do want a man. I'm like, God, send him. I don't know where he at, but send him. So that gives me hope too, knowing that you
Absolutely.
are an alpha female and he's an alpha male, and y'all have managed to make it work. So I'm like, okay, he out there somewhere.
It's
He
work.
out there.
It's a lot of work. And I'll just share with you that he'll come for you. He's
Mm-hmm.
and just like you said, you're conscious about making the room, and
Yeah.
as long as you're open to it, it will come to you, and you're gonna be like, oh, I didn't even know I needed that.
Yes.
Because I didn't know. Because I was just raising my daughters, doing my thing, trying to keep my other daughter in college, and just really like doing my thing. And I mean, I didn't look for it. And then,
Yeah.
he came in and he just been so helpful with the children as adult children. I mean, he said from day one, they're my girls.
Yeah.
And he's
that's
shown up
awesome.
in that capacity. Even when we got a divorce the first time, he was still there for them.
Yeah.
He never left their side. He was like, I'm here for y'all. Me and your mom going through. If you need me, I'm here. And he sincerely meant it.
Yeah. Wow. That is awesome. That is awesome. I'm so glad. You shared that. So the next question I want to ask is like, how has this and we've talked about it a little bit, but how has like becoming a mommy mogul, like how has that changed your life? Because it's not just about, the entrepreneurship, but it's also balancing the motherhood. So how has that changed your life?
It has changed my life a lot. So, with going from one demanding career as being a nurse in a hospital to another demanding entrepreneurship journey, even though my kids transitioned from, teenager to young adult, we're still really close. And they still look up to me and look to me for guidance or whatever. But with saying that, I really had to do therapy during my entrepreneurship journey for me, I felt I wasn't the best mom. I felt like I was a great provider. I can definitely get the money and whatever you need to pay for, I can get that. But I felt I had mom guilt. Like I felt guilty for not being able to be there when they really needed me sometimes.
Yeah, and that's a real thing.
It's a real thing. And I was just able just a few years ago to actually open my mouth and say it. I could never, I
Yeah.
felt it, but I couldn't say it.
Yeah.
So I had to do therapy to help me to get through the mom guilt. And what we did as my young adult daughters, we reset and not started over, but we did a reset and say, hey, this is where we are now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna be here to support you, but I need you to communicate with me as well, because I don't always know how you feel. Or
Right.
if you need me, I'm doing too much. I say, because y'all know me, when I get in the Delta, that's when I'm really, really working. I be like, just pull me and say, Mom, I need you.
Yeah.
And
Like
that's been
sometimes
working.
sometimes my kids will talk to me like if I'm on the laptop, I'm there with them, but not totally
Not
present. You know,
present.
I'm working
Yeah.
on the laptop and they'll say something. And I know I heard them say something, but I didn't hear what it was. And so I said, y'all got to stop doing that, please. Because then I feel guilty as though I'm somehow neglecting you. And really and truly, I'm just in a zone. So if you could please help me by just saying, Mommy, and make sure that I'm paying attention, like make sure that I heard you and then say what it is. Because I do want to be present in what you have going on. I do want to hear you, but you can't just be yelling out stuff and then expect, you know? So we've kind of done that. And I know that mom guilt is a very real thing. I experienced that too, especially like when I was working, because I was working 10-hour days. But of course, I've always been like the person that people want to talk to. So I'd spend like an hour after work standing talking to people because, you know, the job was full of shit. So,
All day.
like, right. So people want to talk to you. And I know I got to go because my kids are waiting on me. But I still chose that. And so then I felt bad for that, you know, because here I am helping these people work through stuff. And then, you know, and my kids are at home. By the time I get home, my parents would have already like given them their bath. They already had dinner. So at this point, they're just like, Mama, we just want to watch TV,
Oh,
you know, and go to bed. And I'm just like, oh, I missed it
yeah.
all. You know, I missed it all. So that mom guilt thing is very, very real. I know where you're coming from with that. The first thing I did after I left that job was I got a mindset coach
That's it.
because I had to get my whole mind
Listen.
together.
Yes, ma'am.
Like, how much you want, honey? Because can you fix me, or can you point me in the right
Yes,
direction?
ma'am.
Yeah,
That's the truth.
yeah, yeah. So, like how you said you went to therapy, I had done therapy in the past because I was in a physically abusive
Mm-hmm.
relationship, and so I had done it. I know how it is, and really, it's something that they do where they pull you out, you know, because they're like, you already know
They
the
do.
answer. You know, that's why like people get mad when psychologists ask them questions, but it's because you know the answer. You know why you were in that situation. You know why you accepted whatever you accepted for however long you accepted it for, and so but sometimes you just need somebody else to ask the right question to make you reflect. And so people need to be more okay with getting the help that they need because I know that's a stigma
And I was gonna
in
say that,
our
especially
community.
in our culture, like I didn't get counseling until 2020, which is what, 3 years ago. And I'm about to be
Mm,
50.
yeah.
So it wasn't that I didn't believe in it. It was that I didn't see. I'm like, I'm a nurse. I don't see the value in that. I mean, I don't need. That was my mindset. But after losing a parent and this, and going through, my current husband, and I had gotten to the point, and I was like, this is beyond me. I can't, this is beyond me. I can't do it. And I was like, when I started therapy, I was like, I should have been did this.
Like, oh, this what you do? Because I thought it was a
I
totally different
did.
thing. But if this is what you
Yeah.
do, I should have been came here. I'd have had my life together a long time ago.
That part.
Yeah.
That part. Listen.
Oh my gosh. So we know that as an entrepreneur, it is not easy. I know that people make it look very glamorous and like, oh, you could get out here and do whatever you want to do. And sometimes you can do what you want to do. But when you up at 3 o'clock in the morning working on
Preach to the
stuff.
people.
Because listen, like I said, I like to take naps, but that nap will cost me. I took that nap then, but I still got work to do. So, when my kids go to sleep, because, I dedicate time to them. So when they go to sleep, now it's on me. I got to take care of business. So it is a wonderful lifestyle because you don't have set hours, but you still do have a lot of work to do. So what are some of like the really big challenges that you've had to face in your entrepreneurship journey?
Being taken seriously as an African American professional nurse, because I do have corporate clients as well where we create health and wellness programs. So I always have to over-present. I always have to show up a certain kind of way. And also, this is another thing with entrepreneurship, putting boundaries in place.
Ooh, that's a good one.
It really is. For me, it's because I'm a nurturer at heart. Because I'm a nurse, that's been a challenge. I'm getting better. It's a work. That's a tough one.
Yeah. Oh,
but you know what? What I found that putting boundaries in place has made me happier.
Mm-hmm.
Because the person who you put the boundaries in place with, they get mad. That's because they're benefiting. Right? They're benefiting. But then, because what happened was, let's just say my daughter would say, "Oh, Mom, can you pick up my dry cleaning on the way home?" And then I'll say, "Okay, I'll pick it up." Well, honestly, I really don't want to pick it up. I don't want to. So then I get mad at her because I committed.
Yeah.
Where I should have just said, "No, I don't." I don't need to give you an explanation. I just could have just said no.
But then you feel guilty. You feel like you do have to give an explanation.
I used to. Well, I used to feel guilty about like stuff like that, but now I don't feel guilty. I'd be like, "Well, you should have planned your day a little better." Like, I'm not doing it.
Plus, they grown now.
They grown, but my husband have those girls so rotten. Like, he's like, "Well, somebody's gonna marry them off." Sir, they're not gonna be here until they're 30 years old. It's not happening. It's not happening. That's not healthy.
I love it. But it's true what you say, that you always have to show up extra. You always have to do more. Like, you have to be almost perfect, if not more than perfect. And that's hard because, like, for me, I really struggle with like that perfectionist spirit. And it's not good because sometimes it will stop me from showing up at all. If I can't come and be perfect, then count me out. I'm gonna sit this one out, that's terrible, because sometimes you just gotta, sometimes you gotta do ugly. You do. You just gotta show up and do the thing. And then people will criticize anyway, which is something that people don't really take into consideration. You can show up and be perfect and they still gonna have something to say.
That part, they will. So it doesn't matter. So just show up.
You might as well just show up. It is so true. So true. One of the things that like has been a big boundary for me was me. Ooh. Like, I was getting in my own way. I actually did a post on Instagram not too long ago about this. Like, I was sitting here in like tears because I was like, I want to do the thing. Mm-hmm. And the thing was this podcast. Mm-hmm. I want to do it. I know that people need to hear my voice. People need to hear what I have to say. They need to hear what other women in our industry have to say, like in entrepreneurship, what they have to say, how they're balancing motherhood and entrepreneurship. And because I just didn't know how to make it perfect, I was just like, well,
I'm at it.
Talk to me, God. Maybe I shouldn't, because I got a habit of doing that. I was wanting to negotiate with God. Like, you sure this is what you told me to do?
I told you, do it. Do it. Yes. I didn't say nothing about perfection. I say do it.
Yeah. Are you like, you sure? You positive? Like, yeah, that's what I said. That's what I said. So, tell me about like what keeps you passionate about what you do, because you've pivoted, right? You started in the nursing and then you moved into, the health and beauty.
I pivoted so much. Okay, so I know God wants greater for me.
Mm-hmm.
He wants the best for me. And I know a lot of people say that, but I know that I have a special calling on my life. Yeah. And I used to dim my light to make other people feel comfortable. I did that unknowingly. I didn't know I was doing it until one of my friends told me. She pulled me on the side. She's like, I don't like how you showing up as a nurse entrepreneur. Now, this is my good girlfriend. And I was like, what you mean? She was like, we was at such and such. And when you walked in the room, you kind of like dimmed down yourself. She said, I'm used to you like, like serving. I was like, I didn't even know I was doing that. Yeah. And then I started observing my behavior in certain rooms. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I don't like that because that's not who I am.
Right.
And she was like, no, let your light shine. If they don't like it, tell them to put some shades on. That's
there you go.
Put some shades on. But I appreciated her. I appreciated her bringing that to my attention because I didn't even know that's what I was doing.
Yeah.
With saying that, I know I have a higher calling. I can pivot over and over again because I know my calling is higher. God will give me a vision and I will work that thing out. And if he give it to me, I'm an executor. I'm an immediate executor.
Nice.
I'm an immediate executor. As soon as he give it to me, I'm like working on it. I'm like, I'm just going to keep digging in until I figure the thing out. And for me, I don't have to be perfect. I think because I came from a shampoo girl in high school and I've been on an entrepreneurship journey for a minute and I kind of like understand the language of entrepreneurship. Mm-hmm. I don't have it down pat, but I understand the language a little more. And I do understand that things are going to change.
Yeah.
It's a part of business. If you stay the same, you're going to get the same results.
Yep.
I want greater results. So then I just keep pivoting. So I don't even think I told you this. I had an IV hydration business.
Well, I think I know that though. I've seen you. Yeah, I've seen you doing the stuff. I've seen it. Yeah, girl, I've seen it.
Yeah, so I had that business. That's how I pivoted into the MedSpa consulting. People would ask me questions all the time. I was already doing it, but I was doing it for free.
Yeah. But tell me about the hydration specialist. Because I was like, what is a hydration specialist? What do they do? And why do I need that?
You need it in your life as an entrepreneur. So what happens is, you take your multivitamins, all your supplements and everything. Your gut, which is your stomach, breaks all of those vitamins down and you're only absorbing 10 to 20%. That's all you get. And if you are purchasing one over the counter, you're not even getting that much because the dosage is so low.
Right.
So your gut is breaking all that down and you're excreting it through your urine and your stool. So AKA you ain't really getting nothing.
Right.
With that being said, when you get your vitamins via IV, you're getting 100% on a cellular level.
Okay.
Which makes it available for your body to use at time of administration. Mm-hmm. So if I go and I stick you and then we start the IV, those vitamins are going directly to your cell, available for use. And however your body needs to use them, whatever you're deficient in, your body will absorb it, and whatever you don't need, it will take it out.
Huh. So where you at again? And you in Atlanta? Because I'm up the road in Augusta. I could come at.
So I don't do the service anymore.
Oh man.
But I do have a lot of relationships, and I'm gonna find somebody in your area.
Okay.
You need that in your life as an entrepreneur. As an aging mom, mom, entrepreneurs don't get enough rest.
Yeah.
And your mind never stops.
No.
It's always going.
Yeah.
And you're always dehydrated.
Yeah. My kids ask me, they're like, Mommy, how'd you sleep last night?
When?
Because I know my eyes was closed, and I know at some point I must have drifted off into a dream, but it was dreaming about work. Or something, so it's not ever a really restful sleep. It's just kind of I close my eyes for a little bit, let my body kind of take a break. Yeah. So, okay, I'm gonna get me a hydration specialist.
And let me give you a gem. So until you get IV hydration, the best vitamin for women, especially, and an entrepreneur is magnesium.
Magnesium.
Baby. When I say change your life,
Let me hold on.
yeah, magnesium in the powder form.
Okay, powder form.
You can get it from Amazon. Amazon have it.
Okay.
Get it in the powder form. Put it in 1 scoop in a cup of tea.
Okay.
All the mommies listening, y'all need this.
Yes.
1 scoop of magnesium in a cup of tea before bed, and you will have the best sleep. Thank me later.
Okay. Listen. Okay. 'Cause I'm about to get on Amazon right after this and order me some powder magnesium because I really do. I really do want my brain to kind of turn off
Yeah,
sometimes.
it will slow your brain. It will slow you down.
Yeah. Because that's really the struggle. Is my mind is always just going, going, going. So, well, thank you, ma'am.
You're so welcome.
And for all the mommies who are listening, like, go get you some magnesium right now, but don't buy it all up. Please make sure you leave one at Amazon for me. Thank you. I appreciate that. So we started talking about, some of the things that you do and that you offer. So, but what is your like signature offer? Like for the ladies who are listening who want to work with you, what does that look like?
My signature offer currently is I help med spa owners. And a lot of people say, what is a med spa? Mm-hmm. You can think of it as a med spa or a wellness center where you go, you get facials, Botox, massages, anything that makes your body feel good. Well, not going to say anything, but a lot of things.
Girl, because some people mind went straight to the gutter.
I know, that's what I was like, let me clean it up real quick. But wellness services that makes mommy feel good. So that's what a med spa is. So what I do is I take med spa owners, I help them to grow and expand their business into a more profitable business.
Okay.
By offering med spa audits.
Okay.
AKA, I find the money in their business.
Right. Oh, so that's good.
Yeah, I work with established business owners, not newbies. I used to coach the newbies, but we've transitioned into growing and scaling because I found that that's my jig. That's my thing.
Yeah. And sometimes it can get challenging though with new entrepreneurs just because they're still trying to figure out what they want to do. They haven't quite like niched down what it is. They're still in that phase where they want to help everybody. I can do all the things. No, Sugarfoot, you cannot help all the people. Stop.
Exactly. Yeah, and that's something that had to be learned. So, but if you have a med spa looking to grow and scale, call me. Or if you are a physician and you own a primary care practice or you own some kind of specialty clinic and you want to integrate IV infusion into your current practice, I can come in and my team and I, we can integrate that into your current practice.
Awesome. And it's you do it virtually so you can help people anywhere.
I can help people anywhere. So we have a virtual option and we have an in-person option as well.
Nice.
You can get the more experience.
Yeah. I like it. We'll travel.
I do travel. Yes, I do.
I love that. That's awesome. So you say you're in the Atlanta area now. How long have you been in the Atlanta area?
I've been here 6 years, almost 7 years.
Oh, yeah. I've been here 7 months.
Really?
Not in Atlanta and Augusta. Yeah, I lived in Florida before this. So I've only been in the Augusta area for about 7 months.
Your parents are in Augusta?
Nope. I moved here all by myself. I know.
Augusta? Okay.
And they keep asking me because, first of all, like, why? I specifically live in Martinez, Georgia, which is right outside of Augusta. And it's such a small place. And coming from like the Miami area, I just wanted something slower. So I was running from Atlanta. But truth be told, I think at some point I might have to just take my happy butt on to Atlanta because that's where people are at.
I'm on the outskirts. Now, I don't live in the city. I always say Atlanta because I know Atlanta, but I live on the outskirts, which is called Conyers.
Okay.
So I'm closer to you than Atlanta. So I think I can get to you in like an hour and something.
Oh, nice.
So we're pretty close. Yeah, my side of town is closer to your end, and I just found that out because my husband told me. It ain't like I do, but he told me, and I was like, yeah, I guess I'm not far at all. But yeah, I love where we are because we can get to the city close, but we still get the slower lifestyle.
Yeah, because that Atlanta traffic, like every time I go there for an event, I'm like, listen, how y'all do this every day? Like, how?
You better put a podcast on and pray.
If y'all in Atlanta, listen to the Mommy Mogul podcast. We got you at least for an hour.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, we do. We have you
for an hour of your day.
Yes.
Because man, that traffic is bananas. My daughter wants to go there for her birthday, which is in like a week, and I'm just like,
oh, it ain't not nice. It ain't for the week though.
Oh man, no. What did I love this conversation. I just love it. I love it. So many things. So, okay, going back to talking about like the hydration specialist, right? And how that's important. How did you even realize that was an issue that people needed to fix?
Ooh, so now this is funny. I was in New Orleans, and I had a good girlfriend who worked at an IV hydration business. Mm-hmm. And we had went out the night before, and we had too much to drink. And I was like, girl, I am so dehydrated. She said, well, I got to go to work. If you want to come and get we call it a drip. You want to come get a drip? I'll be there, which I had never had one before. I knew I've had saline, like the fluid. I've had just a plain fluid before, but I never had it with the vitamins infused. Mm-hmm. So she was like, well, just come through. I'll take care of you. I was like, okay, all right, cool. So I get there, and I'm not feeling my best. Mm-hmm. And I was like, here, do whatever you want. I just need to feel better. You know how it is. You're like, Lord, give me one more chance.
I promise I won't ever drink again, God.
Yes, it was one of those. So I promise you, halfway through the infusion, my hangover symptoms were gone. So I was like, why do I feel better already? And she said, think about it. She said, when you're dehydrated, you're deficient in your vitamins and minerals. Mm-hmm. So getting the fluids and the vitamins supplements, you solve the problem. Huh. Right. That's how I was like, oh my God, you're so smart. And this was 10 years ago.
Wow.
And I've been getting them every single month for the last 10 years.
So is that how often someone should get it, is every month?
Yes. It's really based on your lifestyle. So if you are you're an athlete, you can get a couple of times a month. But if you're like an entrepreneur, you travel a lot, especially if you're on planes all the time. Because what a lot of people don't realize, when you fly, the altitude makes you dehydrated. It's drawing extra blood. I'm sorry. It's drawing extra fluid out of your body, the altitude. So that's why people come down and it's like, oh my God, I'm so jet lagged. You're dehydrated.
Damn.
Yeah.
See, you don't never know how these things play together. So now I'm wondering if I would just dehydrate. I went through something the last 6 months of when I was working my job, and actually it was honestly like over a year. I was crazy dizzy all the time. I was struggling to drive because you're scared if you get dizzy, you might run off the road or something. And so I went to several different doctors. Nobody knew what was wrong with me. They were like, you don't have high cholesterol. And I'm a big girl, so of course they think I got diabetes or high cholesterol or something. I ain't had none of that. I don't have any of that. And they were like, well, your blood pressure is a little elevated, so maybe it's high blood pressure. They gave me blood pressure medication.
And it went whoop.
Like, nothing wasn't working. So now I'm thinking,
you may have been dehydrated.
Could have just been dehydrated.
Something as simple as dehydration can cause your blood pressure to go up or down. Mm-hmm. It can cause you to feel lightheaded, lack of mental clarity. It can, you can feel like you run, like literally, like I feel like I'm going to die.
Wow. So, and even if you're drinking lots of water, you could still be...
You can be drinking lots of water, but are your cells taking in the water? That's the question.
Right.
Because just because you're taking, and you may think you're taking enough water in for your body composition, but you may not be. You may like, oh, I'm drinking water all day, but you're drinking it all day, but how many ounces are you drinking per serving? Is it enough for your body composition?
So, transparency. This is my tumbler, right? Mm-hmm. I go everywhere with this tumbler. Mm-hmm. I got them in like 50 different colors. And I will drink like 3 or 4 of these a day, but I put a lot of ice in it. So it's maybe
It's not as
like,
much water.
yeah. So I think that I'm being hydrated, but sometimes my lips are still dry, and I'm like, Shani, you don't drink.
You're dehydrated. You're dehydrated. If your lips are dry,
yeah,
you're dehydrated. Because
yeah,
if you were
everybody's gonna be looking at
hydrated,
how often I lick my lips in the video.
yeah, you would not. Your lips wouldn't be dry if you were hydrated. So you're taking in the water, and you may not be as much water because you have the ice in there.
Right.
And for your body composition,
yeah,
it may not be enough to sustain hydration for you.
Yeah. So link me up with somebody.
Yeah, I'm gonna take care of you on the hydration thing.
Thank you.
I got you.
I definitely think I am. Yeah, it's confirmed. Confirmed. I am dehydrated. Oh wow. Wow.
And guess what? You're gonna feel so much better. You was like, I didn't even know I was feeling this bad. I'm telling you, it's a game changer. My husband, which is 10 years older than me, right? But when I got with him, I was like, look, I don't want an old man. I don't want to.
Don't be acting old.
Don't be acting old because this is not gonna work for us. I need you to be with it. But when we got together, he was on several medications, and he's 6'5". He was 300 at the time, but then he's down to 200s now. But I'm saying that to say that he started IV hydration. And he started coming off some of his medications, and the doctor was like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "Man, my wife is a nurse, and she giving him drips." And the doctor like, "What drips you talking about?" And then he told him about the IV hydration and all of the essential vitamins that he get. He was like, "Whatever your wife doing, y'all need to keep doing it because your numbers look amazing."
Wow. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I mean, definitely gonna get me together. I need that. Oh my God. I did not expect to get that from this conversation.
Hey, you never know.
But wow. Like now I'm just thinking about everything, and I'm like, huh, okay. Yep. That's gonna sit with me for the rest of the night. Like that is gonna sit with me. Man, I'm gonna tell my mama too, because she always like, go drink some water. But something still don't feel right. Are you listening, mother? You heard her.
Yeah. Absolutely.
She's the expert. Wow. Okay. What are some, besides that, like, I don't even know how to ask this question. Like, what I want to ask you, what are some gems that like you can give the ladies who want to get into entrepreneurship? But I think you just gave away like so much good just there.
I think if you are interested in entrepreneurship, one of the most important things is to make sure you do inventory of your home. It is very important if you are in a relationship, married, have kids, to do a check-in before you take on such a commitment, because it's going to change your whole house dynamic.
Yeah.
And you have to make sure that you have room to take on that.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. That's
it's
good.
Important.
A lot of people don't consider that, but yeah.
I know I didn't. I was just so used to doing. But then you find that you start struggling in certain areas. Then the business is struggling. Then you pull closer to when you pull closer to your family, and then when you pull closer to the business, then the family is struggling. But the struggle comes with the lack of communication.
Yeah.
So that's been something, because I thought I was a good communicator, but I really wasn't. It was in here. I wasn't saying it out of my mouth. So when me and my husband got remarried, that was our thing. We was like, I don't care if you like it or not, we're going to communicate.
Yeah.
And then I'm just, getting better. I'm still not all the way there. It's a work in progress, but you have to communicate, and you have to make room for the thing that you're asking to take on. And it's a financial, what's the word? It's a financial change as well. Just because you want it, you got to make sure that your household can handle it.
Yeah. Because there may be those high points where like you get a new client, you get a big influx of cash, but then when it's slow, you're not getting them regular paychecks like you used to. And so, yeah, you're absolutely right. They need to know that make sure your house can handle it. Make sure all the people in your house can handle the change too. So, and then communication, like, so just to clarify, it is not just like, this is for the people who listen. I know you know this, girl. But it is not just about you speaking your piece. It is also about giving the room for that person to speak their piece too. That is real communication where we can both say how we feel and have a dialogue and not just you saying all the things and me just compromising. So yeah, that's important to note too. So there's a fun segment that I want to do called Wait One Mommy Mogul Minute.
I like that phrase.
Thank you. So you can either tell a story about like something funny that happened with your kids, maybe you know something where you had to like snatch them edges, or or it could be something that just like helps you to balance the motherhood and entrepreneurship. You did give some like good gems earlier. You had mentioned that you've created those boundaries, which really gives your children responsibility, like plan your day accordingly so you do what you have to do. You know, don't be relying on me, you know.
Not all the time. I'm not like hardcore, but I'm not gonna let you dunk on me.
Mm-hmm.
But what I do to make it easy for me so I can be a better mother and be more present in the house is I have a housekeeper twice a month that comes in. It took me a long time to commit to that. Mm-hmm. Because I felt like I don't want nobody in my house, blah 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 blah, because I like to clean my own house. Well, we bought a new home and it's much bigger, and I don't want to.
Yeah.
So I don't.
Yeah, I'm actually contemplating, and it's just the three of us. But sometimes in dishes,
don't contemplate no more. Don't do it. Do it. Get you a service girl. Even if it's once a month, or even if it's quarterly.
Yeah.
It's the best. It was the best event. It takes the load off. Like, why I'm not on the weekends. Like, we like to go out and we might well go to lunch or spend a day in the city or whatever. I don't want to be on a weekend all day cleaning the house. I don't want to do that.
Exactly. Well, and that's part of, and that's part of why, like, I got my laundry, outsourced.
I got that gym from you.
Yes.
I haven't used it yet. I downloaded the app, and I gave the app to my daughter because she has a hair salon, and I was like, I downloaded the app. I say I will be using it, but I haven't used it yet. Girl. But another thing is, what else we do? We something else. What else do I do? The house. Oh, car. Come and get the car cleaned at the house.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Yes. Right now we pull. I have a membership, so we pull through. We let them wash it, and then me and the girls get out and we like dry it up and vacuum. But I'm gonna get there. Where you just come on and do it here. But I actually, it's part of our routine. So for right now, I actually like that part. But I hate laundry and I hate dishes. So like, I'm gonna get that off my plate. We're gonna hire somebody to come do these dishes because I just can't. I don't. It's not that I can't. I just don't want to.
You don't want to,
and that's okay.
What? And you got the right.
Yeah,
you have the right. Last but not least, grocery delivery.
Yes. Why is everybody not doing that? It's only $12.95 a month, honey. Like,
listen,
do whatever you gotta do to get.
They're crazy.
Do whatever you gotta do.
Why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Wouldn't you?
First, and you save money too.
You do, because you don't spend as much. Because when you go in the store, you spend too much money.
Yep, especially in a Walmart. Because then I want to go everywhere. I don't never want to buy Walmart clothes until I'm in the doggone Walmart. Then all of a sudden,
oh my God, this is so cute.
This is adorable. Walmart sell this? What? Walmart done came up. And then my pocket done went down. Like, come on. That's what happens every time. Like, I don't need this, And then my kids, they like those, those real like light skin cookies with the frosting on top.
Oh yeah, I like those too.
I do not. I'm like, where's the flavor? Where I don't. But they love them.
I eat them like around the holiday time.
Yeah,
I'll have like one. I don't have too many, but I do like them.
When I go to the store with them kids, that's the first thing they want. Mommy, can we have cookies? And they are terrible because they're both like really slim, and they will eat that whole pack, all 12 cookies in one night. I wake up the next morning, the pack will just be empty.
I ain't mad at them. I'm not mad at them. Eat them while you can, baby. Eat them. Because you won't be able to eat them later.
That's true. While it don't stick to you. Because when it starts sticking,
listen,
you're going to have to give them up.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. I have thoroughly enjoyed this conversation, and I would love to do it again if you're open to that.
Absolutely.
I am actually going to be in Africa for season 2. This is season 1, but for season 2 I'm going to be in Africa. I figured I'd take advantage. I'm going to be there for a month. And so, yeah, I would love to get you on a call while I am there. I think that would be awesome. So,
of course,
I'm gonna hit you up about that.
Yeah, definitely. And I would love to. I got to learn about that journey there.
Yes, I'm excited. You know, and it all started. A young lady on Instagram posted, "I'm gonna be in Africa for 30, or I want to go to Africa for 30 days. Who's in?" And I was like, "Shit, I'm in. I want to do that." You know. And so I booked the tickets, and I was like, because at first I was like, who can afford to go to Africa? It must cost like a lot of money. I was like, girl, you can afford to go to Africa.
You better know it. You better know it.
You can afford to go to Africa. So I am excited.
And you don't have to beg to be off.
There you go. There you go. I could that's one of the benefits of entrepreneurship. I ain't got to put in no time cards, no vacation requests. First of all, I used to hate those vacation requests because they'd say, well, we have to see who else is off and we have to go based on seniority. You may not have as much time as other people. What?
Figure it out. I'm saying to myself, I'm still going, but go ahead, figure it out.
What they say, PTO, prepare the others, because I ain't going to be here. Nope.
Yes.
So I love it. But thank you so much for having this conversation with me.
Absolutely.
It has been amazing. And so I will make sure I put all your information down in the show notes so everybody can get in touch with you. But go ahead and tell them how to get in touch with you on Instagram right now. Go ahead.
All right, y'all. Y'all can connect with me on Instagram at Monica Swint Consulting. SWINT Consulting. Yes. And you can reach me www.monicaswint.com.
Wonderful.
For all your MedSpa needs.
I love it. And I think for the ladies who are already in business, they're already doing med spas and stuff like that, and they really just want to know, like, how can I grow my business? There's no other mentor for you besides Monica Swint. Like,
it's not. And look, I forgot to say this, with our MedSpa audit, our clients are seeing 7 to 12% increase in revenue within 30 days.
30 days? I know y'all heard that.
Within 30 days. Because they're leaving all the money on the table. They're chasing clients with the money is already there. So we show them where the money at, and then we say, here's your money. And they're like, oh my God.
And the best person to sell to is people who have already purchased. So, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. They out here looking for new people, but you already got people. Put them on a
plane. Absolutely.
Keep them coming back.
That part.
Well, I love you, girl, and I appreciate you coming on. Thank you so much. So I'm going to stop the recording.